Tonight, Terry Cashion becomes the 8th Tasmanian Football Hall of Fame icon. Cashion began his senior playing days as a youngster at the Newtown Football Club in the late 30s, and he made an immediate impact by finishing runner-up in the William Leach Medal in both 1938 and 1939.
My memory of Terry Cashion is just prior to World War II. My elder late brother went to Hobart to play with Cannonall when he was left school, and Cashion was a real sensation even in the younger days when he was just starting football there.
His football career was then placed on hold as a result of the Second World War. After joining the Army, Terry was recruited to play for South Melbourne in the VFL. However, a serious knee injury in 1942 cut short his opportunity with the Swans and placed his football career at risk. On his return to Tasmania, he eased his way back into top-level football through the Clarence Football Club, who at the time weren't part of the TFL competition. Clarence joined the TFL in 1947, and Cashion won the club's Best and Fairest award in the Roos inaugural year in the Big League.
I first came across Terry Cashion in 1947. He was the big name in the TFL, and it was on the eve of carnival selection. I was rover for the NTFA, and I thought, well, I'll mark him. And I shaded him all day, and I was only young at the time, about 21, and I had a lot to learn.
In 1948, he moved to northern Tasmania, and for the next 4 seasons, he was captain and coach of the Longford Football Club. He dominated the NTFA competition, winning 3 club and 3 competition Best and Fairest awards during his 4 years in northern Tasmania.
He could play in any era because of his qualities. He could mark in a pack, he's fairly tall. On the ground he was fast, mobile, quick, had all the balks, all the dodges, and he has a very long kick with either foot, and so he is very, very seldom caught.
By the end of 1950, Terry was arguably the greatest rover Tasmania had ever produced. At the 1950 Carnival in Brisbane, he became the only Tasmanian player ever to win the Eric Tassie Medal for the best player at an Australian National Football Carnival.
He scored more Best and Fairest than any other player I ever met. In fact, in 1950, he went to Brisbane in the Carnival. That year he won the Club Best and Fairest, he won the TFL Best and Fairest, he won the State Best and Fairest, and he won the Carnival Best and Fairest, the Tassie Medal.
He returned to Hobart in 1952 to play for the Sandy Bay Football Club, where he won consecutive Best and Fairest awards, played in their 1952 Premiership, and won the 1952 William Leach Medal, 15 years after he'd finished runner-up as a young star at Newtown. He won either a club or competition Best and Fairest award in 8 consecutive seasons between 1946 and 1953. He played in 3 Australian National Football Carnivals in 1947, 1950 and 1952, and is a member of both the Longford and Tasmanian Teams of the Century.
Terry Cashion could have played anywhere on the field and still been a dynamic footballer. He could kick either side of his body. He was just as accurate with his passing. He was a team man in as much that instead of waiting for somebody to get the ball for him and to pass him out, he went and got it himself. He was a tough competitor, but a club team man through and through, and I still rate Terry, so fondly remember him as one of the greatest players I'd seen in Tasmania. Tonight, Terry Cashion, at 88 years of age, receives the highest recognition that any Tasmanian past player can receive: to be honoured as an icon in the Tasmanian Football Hall of Fame.